everyone. Let's check out Minnesota's starting lineup. Amp is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point. And for the Lakers, they've got Dorian Finney-Smith. Luka Doncic is out there with LeBron James. Then there's Jared Vanderbilt. And it's Hayes in at the 5, roaming the paint. So many things to love about opening day. What's tops on your list, RJ?
A lot of things, really. But, man, the energy in the building. This house is rocking. These fans are so pumped up and optimistic about their team right now.
Sends it home from three-point land.
Yeah, never a bad idea to have Randle with the ball. Just a great passing forward.
And it's Doncic on the drive. Ooh, went in there strong and tried to power it down. But he drew the contact, and he'll head to the line.
Yeah, a strong move to the rack draws that foul.
Los Angeles shooting their first free throws of the evening. That free throw no good. In 2024, Luka Doncic recorded 6 consecutive 30-point triple-double games.
That's right, B.A. The first time anyone has done it in NBA history. So if you didn't already believe in Luka magic, well, there's some proof that the magic is real. What a finish. I mean, he just took over himself.
What a show of power right there from the point guard. Man, sweet.
A point guard getting up like that? Boy, that is special.
Now, here is James. His last outing, we saw him score 22.
They timed up the layup perfectly. The D saw it develop and got there to bother the shot.
Here's Randle. Randle is screen on Doncic. Here's Edwards. Oh, and it's a big-time dunk as he slams it right over Doncic.
Oh, my. Edwards looking to demoralize the defense a little with that one.
Vanderbilt with a screen. Shot's good by James.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Now here's DiVincenzo. 5 points in the game. Three-pointer. That one doesn't drop.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
And it's James with the jam.
With his athletic ability, LeBron drives with purpose. He wants to put the D in a difficult position whenever he gets the chance.
Gobert with a screen on Doncic. DiVincenzo can't hit. The Lakers have gone 2 of 3 from the floor. And Doncic with the jam.
What a finish. I mean, he just took over himself.
What a show of power right there from the point guard. Man, sweet.
A point guard getting up like that? Boy, that is special.
Edwards. Sweet little floater. Edwards got his second basket on the night.
And you know he has the floater in the bag, so Edwards decided to deploy it there.
You know, Grant, after losing in the first round last season, it felt like changes were inevitable for the Lakers.
Yeah, making the playoffs isn't enough for that franchise. They are all about championship success, and anything short of that is a failure.
A quick break, and we look at our 2K leaderboard for three-point shooting last season. In the 3rd spot, Minnesota.
They ran a great system last year that put a priority on creating high-quality looks from deep, and it made them the best three-point shooting team in the league.
Now here's Doncic. Last game, he had 28 points. Count it. Doncic has got 5.
Oh, Luka is so skilled at using his body to create good looks inside.
For 3, Randle knocks it down from distance.
You don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
Hayes for three. Offensive rebound. 1:36 left in the first quarter of the game. 6 on the shot clock. The Lakers got to get one up. Late clock. Second shot opportunity. Here's Vanderbilt. Ooh, tough break there. Shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. Here's Edwards. And a foul call. And they're not happy with the call here. Coach has given the signal. He's going to use his challenge. Probably a good idea in such a close contest.
Shooting for Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. At the line for two.
Still disputed even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls. But at least we have the option to take a second look. So the officials can be sure they get it right. And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still peeved.
Throw good, Edwards. Grant, when it comes to Anthony Edwards, fair to say he's meeting expectations so far.
Oh, no question, B.A. The first overall pick in the 2020 draft, Edwards has been anything but a bust. Now we are seeing him trying to compete for titles.
Doncic. Pass to James. Hayes with it. Oh, he tries a three. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert. There's 57 seconds left to play in the first. Outside Edwards. Inside. Here's Gobert. And Gobert with the stuff.
And just so mobile at his size. Once Gobert sets the screen, he rolls hard to the right spot.
Hayes finds Doncic. Looking to end the run. And that one's good. Doncic has got 7 points in the game.
That's a guy you want taking shots, a quality offensive player.
Randall, a screen on James. Here's Edwards. Outside for Randall. To the paint. Here's McDaniels. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D.
The big story thus far, how well they've shot the rock.
Doncic against Edwards. Beyond the arc. Connects from downtown. 3 seconds left, and it's McDaniels off the drive.
Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's going to take better rim protection.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Oh, boy, they've been driving deep into that defense early on, and it's paid off. Great penetration from the perimeter so far.
And another thing, they found the open man. Really playing unselfish basketball, moving the ball around there on the perimeter.
Jared Vanderbilt out there with Jackson Hayes. Then there's LeBron James. Then it's Luka Doncic. And it's Finney Smith in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's in the game for the Lakers.
They're punishing those late defensive rotations, getting good looks inside throughout the half.
And here's Doncic outside. Rudy Gobert with a rebound. The Timberwolves lead by 5. And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Out of bounds, it'll go to the Lakers.
Let's just say they weren't on the same page there. Not sure he was expecting that pass.
Vanderbilt with a screen. Luka! Lethal!
Encouraging to see Doncic sink the 3. Needs to keep doing this now.
Outside, DiVincenzo. That shot, no good.
Good shot, gone bad. Gotta finish there.
Pass to Edwards. A minute and a half gone in the second quarter.
Oh, Edwards bringing the heat. And one of the stronger finishers in this game, Anthony Edwards at his best.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That's his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
Edwards against Doncic.
On defense, Gobert expertly uses his size and length, making himself into a wall.
Lets it go from deep. And Luka Doncic with the three. Doncic has got 13.
After failing to knock down anything from deep in the first quarter, he's got 2 to go here in the second.
Edwards with it. Now Doncic defending. Edwards, no good.
And you don't see that every day. Usually he'll convert when he gets that close to the rim.
DiVincenzo with a steal. Fast break, Minnesota. And now we have an intentional foul. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, bizarre play, B.A. Not sure what got into him. You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
For three, DiVincenzo. He buries it from three. DiVincenzo's got 5 points now this quarter. Grant, when you talk about consistency and officiating game to game, you think there's room for improvement?
You know, I do think so. I mean, they're allowing more contact, but overall, more clarity on what constitutes legal guarding position would help players and officials. Good passing to set that up. Teamwork on display.
How about LeBron? Even if he's no longer the clear-cut best player in the league, he can still take over a game, RJ.
Oh, make no mistake, he is still the best when he needs to be. Absolutely has a switch that gets flipped when he needs it. It's not on for 48 minutes, but he can definitely turn it on for a few. I think everybody knows how good LeBron James is, but the thing that makes it remarkable is the longevity of his talent, and he is still leading the way for his team.
Second team foul.
And here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Edwards with it. Give him 8 points now. Three-pointer. Nope, that one misses. Now 3 for 5.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
And Luka Doncic is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
And this kind of selflessness is great to see. Textbook positioning to draw the charge.
Minnesota leading by 4. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. And it's Randall with the jam.
This is the energy Randall provides. When he's charging inside, he wants to hammer it down.
Oh, LeBron rocks the rim.
You know what he wants? He wants to attack, and then guess what? He wants to attack some more. This man was born to go to the rim.
Here's Edwards. Okay, knockout. Man.
Wow, that type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. Down low. Gobert hammers it home.
When Gobert is close like that, you know he's going to try and ram it through.
James passes to Finney-Smith. Kicks it to Doncic. And stolen by Edwards. Fast break, Minnesota. We've got 33 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Gobert with a screen on James. Edwards against James. Edwards with some muscle.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Hayes with a screen on McDaniels. Pass to Doncic. Here's Hayes. And finished off by Hayes.
Just a big play at this juncture of the game. Second chance points could be the key for them.
Impressive effort right there. That's what they need to mount a comeback. And so it's Minnesota up by a healthy 8 points at the end of the period. Their key to consistency has been their dominance in the paint. They've been the more physical team. More 2K action in just a moment.
You know, right now for Minnesota, like most teams right now, they're optimistic. We'll see how they handle the first couple of games.
Yeah. And now let's discuss this game. Talk about a strong start for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You have to ask yourself.
And that's a wrap on it.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast thus far. We're halfway through the game. You know, one guy who's been getting it done is Luka Doncic.
Yeah, tonight he's done a great job of slashing through the lane and finishing.
And you love that mindset he has going at the rim. He hasn't settled for anything, and he's been the aggressor all game long.
On the court for the Timberwolves, they've got Miller. He's out there with Naz Reid. And it's Minot in at the 3. Minnesota leading by 6. Grant, how about that in-season tournament win for the Lakers in 2024?
Yeah, honestly, it just makes sense that the first of those trophies would land with a historic franchise like the Lakers.
Minnesota shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. And so he hits the technical free throw. Outside, Alexander Walker hits the trifecta. Alexander Walker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
You give a shooter of his caliber that much time to seam it up? Oh, yeah, you're done.
Outside Reeves. Gets rebounded by Minnesota. Second half rolling along, about a minute played here. Miller outside. He takes it in, and a nice finish on the layup. And now a 12-point Timberwolves lead.
And now almost all their points coming from the paint.
Here's Hachimura, and that one drops for him. Hachimura's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, Hachimura's inside-out scoring ability is what makes him so valuable to their offense.
Here's Shannon. He's covered by Reeves. Got a hand on it. Hachimura, right side. And the foul called on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's his first foul of the game. Well, Richard, one thing we're seeing an emphasis on by the league, mental health.
I'm surprised it took people so long to understand how grueling of a mental task it is to try and be one of the 450 year in and year out.
Shot clock at 5. And here's Reeves outside. No good that time. Minnesota leading by 10. Now Alexander Walker. Here's Miller. Left side, Alexander Walker. Pass to Minot. Now Miller. Left side, Alexander Walker. Another shot. Hachimura with a rebound. The Lakers have gotten 2 of 4 shots to go since the break. Here's Connect. Lynn in the high post. Still without a bucket. Shot is good by Kleber.
When he has enough space, he's more than comfortable letting it fly from outside.
Outside, Alexander Walker. Pass to Shannon. Back to Alexander Walker. From behind the arc. That one is off.
And he's having an ugly quarter from the field. It seems really frustrating.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's his second personal foul. Second team foul.
A minute 58 left in the 3rd quarter. Reeves, the pass to Kleber. Back to Reeves. Just 5 to shoot. To the inside. Shot is good by Kleber. Kleber's got 5 now. A minute 39 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Now here's Alexander Walker. He's closely guarded. Reed sets a screen. Here's Shannon. He's covered by Reeves. 6 to shoot. Alexander Walker, the pass to Reed, and stolen by Reeves. To the middle. And it's slammed in by Hachimura.
They're making smart adjustments, setting guys up for success.
But it took them a little while to get there. Just goes to show, as long as you persevere, you'll figure your way out.
Alexander Walker drills it from deep. Alexander Walker's gotten his second bucket of the game.
And that's on the defense there. Gotta know the scouting report and understand that he loves his shot.
Lynn passes to Hachimura. Back to Lynn. Pass to Kleba. Here's Lynn. Reed defending. Hachimura from long range. The rebound by the Timberwolves. They held a 12-point lead earlier. Inside. Here's Mina. Not going to go that time. Hachimura with the defensive effort. There's a screen by Lynn. Oh, misses the dunk.
And the defense did just enough to bother that dunk attempt.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
Minnesota shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. That one misses. And some changes here for the Lakers. And he's good on the second. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And he definitely deserves the award. Reading the defense like a point guard.
He'll be proud of that one. Bigs love when their passing skills are noticed.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th quarter. Jared Vanderbilt out there with Dorian Finney-Smith. Then there's Hayes. Then there's LeBron James. And it's Doncic in at the point guard position. That's the Laker 5. To the inside. Vanderbilt, no good. The Timberwolves lead by 7. It's stolen by Doncic. Well, the defender's stopping the developing fast break. That looks like a transition take foul. And now we get a little perspective here on how the hustle game has been for the Timberwolves.
They've been defending with excellent anticipation all game long. Just look at how many times they've managed to get their hands on the ball.
And another note, how about the way they've cashed in off turnovers, taking advantage when given the extra opportunity.
James deciding where to go with it. Back to Vanderbilt. Just 5 on the clock. DiVincenzo with a steal. A few possessions into the 4th. Just over a minute played. Edwards for 3. Anthony Edwards rains one in.
And a slick play called by Edwards, creating space for himself to operate.
Doncic passes to James. That 3's off the mark. The Timberwolves lead by 9. Picked by Gobert. Here's DiVincenzo, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Love how selfless he is setting brick screens like this. Plays like that right there are what help create easy scoring opportunities.
Here's Doncic. Gets rebounded by Minnesota. Gobert's got 6 rebounds in the game. For 3, Randall. Finney-Smith pulls it in. The Lakers have gone 0 for 3 in this 4th. Not good. Doncic with the bucket.
Along with everything else, Doncic is a knockdown three-point shooter.
Edwards a screen on Doncic. DiVincenzo pass to Edwards. Lets the 3 fly. And Edwards hits him right back for a 3.
He's been locked all the way in from the floor, and he's the #1 reason why they're winning right now.
Here's James. Nice move over Edwards. James, that's good.
Yeah, just too much big boy basketball by LeBron James, just bodying defenders inside.
DiVincenzo, the pass to Edwards. Rejected by James. James double team. Pass to Doncic. Vanderbilt with a screen. Jacks up a three. Gets rebounded by Minnesota. It's an even 3-on-3 break. Randall on the screen. The three, DiVincenzo. It's rebounded by Los Angeles. Hayes has got 4 rebounds now. James with the ball. DiVincenzo picks him up and slam dunk by James.
For such a big dude, all he needs is just a little bit of daylight, and LeBron is going to be hanging on that rim.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Down low. James against Edwards. Randall is screen on James. Here's Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
And certain nights, Edwards just goes off. Very tough to stop when he's in the zone.
James, a freight train coming.
Well, I guess we could give him credit for not getting discouraged. They're still playing hard. He's doing his job out there.
The Timberwolves lead by 7. Here's McDaniels. Out to the wing. Outside Edwards. Picked by Gobert. From the arc. Can't hit that one.
That is not a guy you want to allow open looks from range. Lucky for the defense, he just couldn't get it to go.
Pass to Hayes. Hayes with a screen. James passes to Hayes. 5 on the clock. The 3 is up. James can't get that one to fall. And Minnesota with possession here. Here's McDaniels. The kick out to Edwards. Back to Randall. Outside Edwards. Over Finney-Smith. It's wide right. Hits off the rim.
And just not enough time for them to get back in this game.
Yeah, they got to be disappointed with this result.
From deep, here's Doncic. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert. For 3, Randall nails it from 3. And the Timberwolves lead by 10.
Yeah, a shot that Randall has added to his repertoire. Shooting the 3 with confidence now.
James with a steal. So it's Minnesota picking up the win. Exceptional effort on the road. They were, Allie, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Richard Jefferson, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce.
grown since your time in the league. Do you think that can lead to too many voices in the locker room?
I really don't think that's an issue, Kevin, because no matter how many coaches you have, typically they are all in sync, and the head coach has usually put his staff together, and therefore they're moving in the same direction.
And now the Golden State Warriors starters. They've got Draymond Green. Peyton is out there with Stephen Curry. Then it's Butler. And it's Post in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now Doncic after the missed three from Stephen Curry. And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
First team foul.
Hachimura against Curry. Hachimura down low. And the dunk by Hachimura.
That is big time by Hachimura. No mercy at all.
And so Curry will bring it up for the Warriors. They went to Los Angeles for their last meeting with the Lakers and came out with a victory.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hit the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
They found their rhythm and kept piling it on. And a huge boost of confidence on the road for sure.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Now, here's Doncic. He's coming off a 28-point game against Minnesota. Yep, that one goes.
Nice work from Doncic. Doing a good job finding a way to get it done inside.
And really, Clark, Luka Doncic is a one-man wrecking crew on the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he's special. His IQ, his size, the way he can make shots against tough defense. He's got the lean back. He's got the crafty moves. And I think he's a lot stronger and a little more athletic than people give him credit for being. I mean, without a doubt, he's one of the most unique and best players that we've seen in the game.
And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
Clearly a careless pass. He got away with one there.
We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Traps in the tray.
Curry is just lethal from outside.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, briefly spoke with J.J. Redick. Now, I asked Coach what the game plan was when it comes to defending Jimmy Butler. He said to me, we have to make sure we match his energy level. Jimmy is one of those guys that goes all out every second. We want our guys to do the same on D. It won't be easy, but they think they found a way to contain him. Guys?
Thank you, David. Curry, good.
Stronger than he looks. Curry able to take the hit there and finish.
And here's Doncic from the arc. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Doncic has got 5.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Curry looking it over. Puts up a deep 3. And another 3 for Golden State.
And you got the feeling that was coming. Curry loves coming back with a 3 of his own.
James wide open. And the Lakers hit again from deep.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Now here's Curry. 8 points for him. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And Clark for the Lakers. The last 2 seasons ended in playoff losses to the Denver Nuggets.
And I tell you what, they fought hard both times, Kevin. The point differential was only 24 points over the 4 games in 2023 and just 11 points in 2024. LA actually led most of the 5-game series, but weren't able to advance. Not much falling for him this quarter, guys, and you can sense his frustration.
Here's Doncic. Pass to Hayes. He tries for 3. And Curry pulls it down. Warriors trail by 7. Here's Post. Guarded by Doncic. And it's Green with the jam.
How about the execution inside by Green? He's excellent at knowing when to attack down low.
Here's LeBron. Out to Doncic. Vanderbilt, a screen on Payton. 4 on the shot clock. Doncic passes to Hachimura. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
Outside Curry. They set the pick. Lets the 3 fly. Vanderbilt with the rebound. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. And Stephen Curry with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second personal foul. Third team foul.
Got it up. And no good that time. And so the first quarter is in the books. The Lakers on top. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
You know, so far in this one, these guys have been knocking it down from distance. You've got to like their confidence as this game continues. They're on a nice roll.
Also, they're getting into the teeth of the defense. Points in the paint, something coaches always love to see.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. Curry is out there with Gary Payton II. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Green. And it's Post in at the 5. Home in the paint. Now, here's Butler. 17 points for him last game against Minnesota.
And not just the scoring. It was also how fierce he was on defense, grabbing 3 steals on the night as well.
You know, that's just simply outstanding focus. Butler is used to getting hit on the way up, expects to be bumped and jostled around, and still muscles his shots in.
When it comes to players who like having fun, Greg, Jimmy Butler has to be way up there.
Kevin, did you see his media picture for the 23-24 season? He looked like he belonged in an emo band with that hairstyle. Jimmy is definitely one of those guys that likes to troll and have fun.
Here's Curry. After Luka Doncic's bucket, takes the 3. No good again, just 3 for 10 with that miss. And he's going up for the alley-oop. It's taken away by Payton. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Shoots the 3. And again, no good by Golden State.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Here's Curry. He's got 8. From past the arc. Rebounded by the Lakers. On the wing, Doncic. Guarded by Curry. Out to the right wing. And here is Vanderbilt. Still scoreless. And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
That's his 2nd foul of the first half. Not a big deal yet, but something to keep an eye on.
And the Lakers with possession here. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. Off target there, that would have pushed the lead to double digits. 3-pointer, Payton trains the 3-pointer.
What a move that time. Crossed up the whole building on that play.
And it's Gary Payton II with the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
Payton against Doncic. Hayes with the screen for Doncic. Impressive work inside from Doncic. And Greg, you talk about toughness, the compete factor. How does a team create that culture?
Call it.
Whoa! Big time! LeBron showing you how he does it. A stylish flush by King James.
Unloads. Butler against Doncic. Doncic with the steal. They've got the 5-on-3 advantage. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. The 3 from LeBron. The shot's good on the assist by Doncic. Doncic has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Here's Curry with the 3. Hachimura grabs the miss.
their game plan needs to change if they're
Hey, I really like what I'm seeing from LeBron here tonight, keeping it simple. He's going to the hot hand, which is him. That's pretty good.
Here's Post. Scoreless thus far. To halt the run. Good on the triple.
Boy, a big man with great touch from deep, always a valuable commodity in today's game.
Hachimura setting the pick for Doncic. Nifty move. And it's good on the way in. Doncic has got 13.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Ooh, taking the hit. Steph Curry.
I mean, he is so lethal on the drive. Once Curry knifes inside, there's little you can do to stop him.
Here's Doncic. Here's LeBron. And yes, it's good. He's got 17.
Not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Curry kicks to Butler. There's the pick. Misses the three. Lakers leading by 13. Pass to LeBron. LeBron, what a thing of beauty from James.
How many times have we seen that? I mean, LeBron going right through and into the defense and finds a way to power through the contact as if he hasn't even been hit.
Butler. Doncic with the block. Now here's LeBron. His last outing, we saw him pour in 22. Oh, and the jam by LeBron.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. Let's just call him ladder climber.
And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. And it's been there. All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
Please direct your...
Well, I think for the Warriors, you really get to see what they're made of after your hard work in the offseason.
Yeah, you have big...
And turning now to the game we've been watching, Luka Doncic has been lighting it up. And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to Kevin.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today.
And if he can keep shooting from deep like he did in the first half, he's going to be more than a handful.
Yeah, you know what? The defense is going to adjust. They'll be ready for him now, so I'm sure they talked a lot about how to slow him down.
We've got Connect. Maxi Kleba is out there with Len. Then there's Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's Reeves in at the point. That's the Laker 5. Healed with it. Connect picks him up. Now Podziemski. Count it. Podziemski's got his first bucket of the night.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, if that's a harbinger of things to come, he's looking at having a very big second half.
Reeves gets the bucket.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Here's Podziemski. And a miss there on the triple.
And if they know what's good for them, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball in the three-point lane.
Kleba finds Reeves. Wide open look. Warriors with the rebound.
Well, I cannot believe he didn't capitalize there, and neither can he.
Here's Podziemski. And it's Finney-Smith with the rebound.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper. Reeves
outside. Jacks up a three. No good. Shot missing.
Far from an ideal start here. I mean, this half just 1 for 4 so far.
Moody with it. No scoring in this one. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Reeves outside. And the Lakers with another miss.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
To me, it appears he's starting to lose his composure a little bit. We'll see if he can regroup and get back into a better rhythm.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we are seeing a new generation taking over the NBA. Commissioner Adam Silver says stars can be created much quicker these days. Sports is a meritocracy and talent gets rewarded. With a social media community in the billions for basketball and a global market for talent, new and different stars end up emerging. Kevin?
Which is always good for the game. Great to see. And David, a great report again from you. Thank you. Here's Jackson Davis. Shot by Hield. Nobody around. Good on the three-point shot. Hield's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Quite simply, one of the best three-point shooters in this game. That's Buddy Hield.
Reeves the pass to Kleba. Back to Reeves. There's 1:26 left to play in the third. Fires the three. The Warriors pull it in.
And he has been ice cold from beyond the arc here since halftime, and he continues yet to fire away. He has got to tone it down if he wants to help his team.
Kuminga sets a screen for Hield. Outside Kuminga. And another three for Golden State.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Yeah, they've had a great second half from long range. I mean, things are definitely starting to look up for them.
Majemski on the wing. There's 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. Reeves against Hield. Just 5 to shoot. To the middle. Stolen by Reeves. Here's Finney-Smith. He's defended by Pajemski. And Finney-Smith gets it to go.
Finney-Smith a threat both under the basket and way out beyond the arc. He's got great range.
Drives to the hoop. Pajemski finds Jackson Davis. Misses the layup. He had him with that bump fake. Here's Reeves. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one is on Hield.
Yeah, good job to take it right at him.
Yeah, really left him no choice there. I mean, he had the foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket. Already a very confident player. Knocking down those free throws only fuels that.
Poked loose. The three from LeBron. No good on the last second attempt there. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Lakers. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery.
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. On the court for Golden State here in the fourth. Butler out there with Draymond Green. Then there's Stephen Curry. Then there's Gary Payton II. And it's Post in at the 5 spot. Doncic left side. Doncic drops the hammer.
Even for Doncic, this is a big night in the scoring column, giving his fans their money's worth and then some.
Here's Curry. And the layup's good off the glass. Curry's got 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the court.
Here's Doncic. And he drives in. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
Well, he's just zoned in. I mean, in most cases, taking quality shots very much within the flow of the offense.
Butler. Look at the attack of Butler in the lane.
An aggressive mentality, always part of Jimmy Butler's game, taking it right at the defense.
And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
A jump ball has been called.
And here is James. Over Green. James, no good. Green with the ball. He's picked up by James. On its way from Curry for two. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Hayes has got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Doncic, forcing his way inside. Doncic.
Luka, combination of finesse and bully ball in there that time.
Here's Curry with the 3. Luka Doncic grabs the miss.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's fallen here since. Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
Here's Curry. Curry always finds a way, this time inside.
You know, so far he's been dominant this period, making the most of his opportunities.
Doncic kicks to LeBron. Back to Doncic. James a screen on Peyton. And here's Doncic from the arc. Can't hit that one.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Butler feeling out a bit. Butler takes it in. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Butler's got 4 points in the quarter.
The ability to score on the drive. Butler wastes little time tearing to the hoop.
LeBron can't get it to go. Warriors trail by 10. Peyton outside. Pass to post. Over Hayes. Off the mark. Had a chance to trim it to single digits. Lakers have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Doncic sticking it from way outside.
Doncic always ready to let it fly once he catches it.
And so Curry will bring it up for the Warriors. And there's the call on James. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
Curry passes to Butler. From deep. Vanderbilt with the rebound. Vanderbilt's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Doncic, no good. Warriors trail by 13. And Curry has it in the corner. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Curry's got 9 points here in the second half.
And you can see how the entire arc is open for Curry. There's no part of it where he's timid about shooting.
3-pointer. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. 17 points was their biggest margin.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Lakers.
This was a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Luka Doncic.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash over.
Connects from 3-point range. And the Lakers lead by 11.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
Boy, they've given their fans plenty to cheer about, that's for sure. Effort, skill, coaching, you name it, they've done it.
We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Vanderbilt against Green. Doncic feeling it out. Fires from way outside. And so the Lakers take the win. A confident win and one where they clear. Thank you for that, David. And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David.
opening day tip-off, Doris. It feels like the league is in a great place.
There is no doubt, BA, absolutely. To me, more talent in the league right now than potentially we've ever had before. And I don't just mean star talent. There's a depth of quality skill across the board. We know the shooting has revolutionized the game. It's going to be a fun year.
All right, checking out Golden State's opening lineup. They've got Draymond Green. Stephen Curry is out there with Gary Payton II. Then there's Butler, and it's Post in at the 5, down low.
First bucket of the evening. Now, both teams are really looking to exploit matchups here.
What's going to be fascinating to watch is which matchups are they willing to go exploit.
Now here's Curry. Going inside. Oh, rejected by McDaniels.
You have to be careful when Jaden McDaniels is in your area as an offensive player. This guy is so elite defensively.
Edwards can't hit. And so it's Curry with it. He brings it up for the Warriors. Doris, one of the most physical guards in the NBA, Anthony Edwards.
If you want to talk about a prototypical NBA body, it's Anthony Edwards. He's got size, strength, athleticism, but beyond that, he's so skilled. 3-level scorer, versatile on the defensive end, fearless when it matters. Anthony Edwards may be the next face of the league.
Allie LaForce had a chance to catch up with head coach Chris Finch. Allie, what do you have to say?
I asked him outright how he planned to deal with Steph Curry. How does anyone deal with him? Coach joked. He went on to say, we'll try to contest every shot and chase him off the arc, but emphasis on try. Not easy to solve a problem with no good solution, I guess, BA.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie.
No, Jimmy Butler is an unselfish teammate. This guy loves to get his teammates involved.
DiVincenzo, pass to Edwards. Puts up a 3. Drops in the 3.
Both teams are starting to find a rhythm here.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Here's Curry, outside for Green. Back to Curry, fires for 3. And it's Gobert with a rebound. The Timberwolves have gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. The ball's knocked loose. Outside, DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. Right side, DiVincenzo. Gobert with a screen on Curry. Shot clock at 6. DiVincenzo can't hit. Golden State has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. And Curry throws it down.
Boy, Stephen Curry doesn't do it often, but oh, they'll celebrate that finish.
Edwards a screen on Curry. The kick out to Edwards. Warriors with the rebound. And it really feels like the chemistry of this Timberwolves team has taken a step forward.
And BA, you know this. Winning always enhances that energy and chemistry. But beyond that, this is a roster full of players that have had individual success, and now they're hungry and thirsty for team success, because that's the true measure.
And it's in there.
That's where they'd like all their shots to come from.
And there's 1:38 left to play in the first quarter. McDaniels against Curry. Butler on the wing. 4-3. He's off on that one. McDaniels with some nice D. Here's Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
Well, we know this about Anthony Edwards. This guy, one of the stronger guards in this game. That's a tough finish.
Now here's Curry. Butler, a screen on McDaniels. Outside Butler. Edwards against Curry. Edwards, the pass to McDaniels. Gets the 3 ball to go.
You have to anticipate those quick release opportunities. Jaden McDaniels ready on the catch.
The 3 from Curry. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
For 3, Randall. And it's cleared by Stephen Curry. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. To the paint. Here's Post. To halt the run. Outside for Butler. On the wing, Curry. And the Warriors miss again.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through. See if you can get an easy opportunity.
Right side, Edwards. Uses the glass on the layup. Edwards got 7.
Pounding it inside early and often, setting a physical tone.
And so the first quarter is in the books. The T-Wolves on top, leading by 4. And we'll be back shortly for the start of this. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter in this one. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Timberwolves.
They've done a great job establishing an inside presence. Now that'll open up more options offensively throughout the remainder of the game.
Yeah, and in addition, their ball movement has really unleashed their offense. Boy, they've been fun to watch.
So on the floor for Golden State to kick off the second quarter. Jimmy Butler out there with Green. Then there's Stephen Curry. Then there's Gary Payton II. And it's Post in at the 5, roaming the paint. Here's DiVincenzo. Good D by Payton. The Warriors trailing. Outside Butler. Pass to Curry. Oh, what a play! It's snatched out of the air. Credit the block. Here's Edwards. He has 7. Gobert with a screen on Curry. The offensive rebound. Randall outside. Pass to Gobert. And it's Gary Payton II with a foul. That's his first foul. And we played just over a minute of basketball in the second quarter. Outside, DiVincenzo. Offline with a 3. DiVincenzo's gone 2 of 5 from the floor. Outside Payton. To the middle. That one's good. This game is all even.
Well, known for being a terrific passer, he shows you right there. Case in point.
Grant, when you look at Draymond Green's career, you think he's going to the Hall of Fame?
You know, B.A., I believe so. He's won multiple titles, and we know how impactful he has been as a defender and distributor especially. I think we'll see him in Springfield one day.
Minnesota shooting their first free throw of the night here. Well, Doris, for a while, the amount of three-pointers seemed to grow exponentially. I think it's plateaued now.
You know, B.A., I'm not sure I agree that it's plateaued. What we do know unequivocally is these organizations have defined how to be the most efficient basketball team. And each and every year, we're setting records in that category. They're just getting smart about the kinds of shots you want and when. We're seeing more shots at the rim, and we're still heavily emphasizing the three-point line.
DiVincenzo with it. Green picks him up. Outside for Randall. Over Green. Julius Randle getting it done. What a move. And it's a 5-point Minnesota lead. McDaniels against Curry. And there's a pick. And Gobert with a block.
Almost inescapable, that 7'9" wingspan. Send it back, big Rudy Gobert.
And it's Jimmy Butler with the foul. That's his first foul of the game. All right, for those just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second. DiVincenzo against Curry. DiVincenzo, the pass to McDaniels. Here's the 3. And DiVincenzo hits from deep. DiVincenzo's got 6 in the quarter.
Well, the advantage they have right now is largely based on his play. What an outstanding night.
Here's Curry. Ooh, nothing falling for them right now.
Not his best night, and not the team's best night. Sometimes it just goes that way.
The kick out to Edwards. The 3 is up. It's rebounded by Golden State.
Well, it hasn't been the most efficient game for this guy, but their team is fortunate to still be out in front.
Curry looking it over. Clock at 6. Looking to end this cold spell. Fires it from 18. Yes, on the jumper. post has got 5 now.
Well, this is what makes Steph Curry so difficult to defend, right? A sharp passer on top of everything else he brings in terms of his scoring ability.
And the ball out of play. The Warriors will have it. All right, let's go to the leaderboard and see the top passing teams last season. The Warriors, 4th.
And if you have to ask, what's the name of the game? Well, it's all about ball movement for them. They love to share the rock. And we all know that assists are a great indicator of how well the team is executing.
Stephen Curry, guys, is going to be remembered as the greatest shooter in the history of the sport. But we should not sleep on the amount of winning this guy has done as well.
No good on the second free throw. Minnesota leading by 5. McDaniels passes to Gobert. And Gobert with the stuff.
That is right in Gobert's window. Make it easy.
Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. Randall finds McDaniels. Perfect night so far, 2 for 2.
This run has been fueled by their matador defense.
Warriors trail by 9. On the wing, Curry from deep. Curry splashes it in.
Doing it like only he can. Stephen Curry's accuracy is something to watch.
Outside, DiVincenzo. Pass to Edwards. And here's Randall. And it's Randall with the jam.
Attacking the rim with power.
Tremendous finish. Outside Curry. On the wing, Payton. Payton with a screen on Edwards. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Now Curry. McDaniels covering. There's the 3. Curry, no good. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And so we've reached the end of the first half of play. Timberwolves ahead. They're up by 8. And we'll be right back after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Welcome in.
Offense is clicking right now. They're playing high-quality ball, selfless. I'm surprised they're not up by more.
You know, that being said.
And now, not a bad time. And that's it for halftime. Thank you for...
And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. It's been quite a game for Dante DiVincenzo.
I love how effortlessly he scored. The game just comes so easy for him.
And let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
Miller is out there with Naz Reid. Then it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Minot in at the small forward. And that's the group for Chris Finch as we begin the second half.
And they've made themselves easy pickings. Sloppy ball control creates an easily converted turnover.
Outside Pajemski. To the wing, right side. Here's Kuminga. Down low. Here's Jackson Davis. It's rebounded by Minnesota.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
Now here's Alexander Walker. Defense right on him. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And now it's a 12-point Minnesota lead.
Probably a play they drew up in the locker room at half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Pass to Kuminga.
First team foul.
Minnesota on D. They haven't given up any points here in the second half.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
And Naz Reid has proven to be a matchup nightmare for opposing big men, Doris.
He has, BA, and the reason is he's bigger and stronger than most 4 men. Traditional 5s are too slow to stay with him. He can space you out to the three-point line, or he can punch punish you on the inside. Nas has got big-time game. Well, he's such a good athlete for a center. It's how he's able to succeed despite being one of the smallest fives in the NBA.
Back to Reed. Inside. Perfect pass to set up the lay-in.
That's 10 straight points they've given up in the painted area.
Now here's Podziemski. Tight defense on him. Five to shoot. From deep three-point range. Minnesota with a rebound.
All right, time now to pick it up. You're 1 for 4, and you certainly don't want to give your opponent momentum.
It's stolen away. Oh, and a fast break for the Warriors. Oh, wow!
Incredible!
And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Playing from behind, it's amazing he chose to dunk with that high a difficulty rating.
Yeah, no question. That was a stellar move with plenty of swagger. Right around 3 minutes into this second half. Now Podziemski. He's scoreless. Floats one. Moody on the wing. Pass to Kuminga. It's intercepted. And he's all alone. Here's Miller. Oh! And that one is stuffed right through.
Can you say immediate entry into the highlight reel? Woo, what a tough BA.
It's showtime now, man. They've built up a lead, and they're starting to rub it in. Now here's Heel. The D's right on him. Goes back up. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Well, this guy has made giant strides in his playmaking. Nice setup by Buddy Hield right there.
Kuminga, no good on the free throw. The Timberwolves lead by 13. Here's Shannon. Outside, Alexander Walker. Reed sets a screen. And again, it's Minnesota with a three.
Yeah, he's been having his way this quarter, attacking the basket and protecting their lead.
Jackson Davis a screen. It's Podziemski on the wing. Outside Kuminga. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Hield. Puts up a deep three. From beyond the arc, and then some. Hield's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Shannon, defended by Podziemski. Outside, Alexander Walker. Here he goes. And he drains it. A solid 5 for 6 now.
What an aggressive mindset in this period. He's starting to take over.
Outside Podziemski. To the inside. Hield. Here's Jackson Davis. Oh, he goes up high for the two-handed slam.
That's what we call a power finish. There's no such thing as gentle for the big man.
And here at the end of the third, it's a double-digit ball game. The T-Wolves on top. They lead by 13. And we're coming back in just a... And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
I'll tell you, in today's game, you want skill and decision-making at every position.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may already be out of hand. On the court for Golden State to start the fourth. We've got Jimmy Butler. Gary Payton II is out there with Stephen Curry. Then there's Draymond Green, and it's Post in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
You know, a reliable veteran like Julius Randle is so valuable. He provides a foundation for everyone else to play off of because they know he'll be there to score and help out. He makes it easier for other players to succeed around him. Great teamwork on that drive, punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
Randall can't hit. Warriors trail by 11. Here's Curry. Outside for Butler. Back to Curry. And a great assist by Butler as that one goes.
Well, we know Steph Curry has a ton of fun on the court because he can score from virtually anywhere. But that floater is a must-have tool in the toolbox.
McDaniels finds Edwards. The shake. Pass to DiVincenzo. Outside McDaniels. There's the drive. Boom! He jams it straight down.
Well, there's tremendous length when it comes to Jaden McDaniels. And off the dribble drive at the cup, he's tough.
Here's Post from outside the arc. Outside Payton. Back to Butler. Tries again. Oh, the energy of Butler.
That'll drive your coach crazy, failing to box out.
And to me, this is a common theme that's running through the league right now. Guys looking to leak out rather than box out.
And here's Edwards outside. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Post has got 5 rebounds in the game.
I'll tell you, despite his struggles at the offensive end, this team still finds themselves in control of the ball game.
Here's Butler. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. Jaden McDaniels picks one up.
What I love most about Jimmy Butler is his will to win and the capacity he has to take his teammates right along with him.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Minnesota leading by 8. Outside Edwards. Picked by Gobert. For 3, DiVincenzo drains the triple.
Now you have to extend that defense. I mean, you really have to stay connected to him at all times.
Well, you know this. This is a guy who's looking for his shot the whole time. You have to know who you're guarding. KYP, know your personnel.
And stolen by Edwards. Fast break, Minnesota.
You have to be kidding me.
Wow, that's how you take things into your own hands. And Curry's got the ball here for Golden State. Oh, Curry, a magician inside.
Very difficult to keep the ball out of Stephen Curry's hands because of all his movement. He can shoot from anywhere, and right now the defense has no answer.
And it's Gary Payton II with a foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And Minnesota with possession here. They lead by 11. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
This guy always amongst the league leaders in dunks. Gobert is a force around the cup.
Curry against McDaniels. Oh, he connects. His 7th basket. He's 7 of 15 now.
Yeah, there's no quitting this guy. He just gives you great effort, and he continues to give you great production.
A one-handed tomahawk. That's a guaranteed highlight, B.A.
Check out the bench. They flew out of their seats after that. McDaniels against Curry. Wow, Curry takes the hit and finishes inside.
It would be easy to take for granted the greatness we see every time Stephen Curry hits the floor. Another special performance right now.
He clipped the ball there, but not enough to nab the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Outside, DiVincenzo. Here's Gobert. Here's Randall. Again, the Timberwolves score.
Barring a miracle comeback, this one is wrapped up. They were able to control the tempo and flow of the game, and it will end in a victory for the Timberwolves.
And the huge difference today, the efficiency from beyond the arc.
Yeah, once they started hitting shots, it stretched out the D and opened up the entire offense.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year. Pass to Curry. Shoots from the baseline. Rebound, Minnesota. Outside Edwards. It's McDaniels on the wing. He drops it from range.
They got a big lift from their crowd tonight, giving them the energy they needed.
What an impressive performance, to say the least. At this point, it looks insurmountable.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. And here's Butler outside. And it's Gobert with a rebound.
I know that he has the ability and confidence to sink that shot, but better luck next time, maybe.
And for most guys, I think you only want to take that shot if you've hit a few in a row. That is absolutely...
Oh, my! Wow! Way up there in the rafters. No one is stopping that.
So we see the Timberwolves taking the W here. We saw two different teams tonight. Thanks, Alec. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Grant Hill.
Okay, here are the starters for Los Angeles. They've got James. Jackson Hayes is out there with Jared Vanderbilt. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's Hachimura in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Timberwolves, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Julius Randle is out there with Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard. Hey, Coach, it's NBA opening night, one of the best dates on the calendar. I know you're as excited as I am.
I sure am. Finally, Kevin, we get some games that count. We've been waiting months for tonight, and I love how at this point, everybody has playoff aspirations.
A lot of optimism, isn't there, Coach?
There sure is. This is the best day of the year.
And so the Los Angeles Lakers get the first points of the ballgame. Vanderbilt finds James. Vanderbilt a screen on McDaniels. Now Doncic takes a 3. And it's McDaniels with the rebound. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Thanks. I caught up with Chris Finch. We talked about the strategy for taking on a guy like Luka Doncic. He told me that the thing is Luka steals all the attention out there, which allows his teammates to find open looks, so we're not going to let him distract us on defense. So it sounds like they'll be focusing on defending against Luka and company, not just Luka. Kevin?
Okay, David, thanks.
The all-around game of Doncic is impressive. A walking triple-double threat every night.
LeBron outside. No good on the triple. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
And Doncic gets it to go.
And guys, the intelligence is evident. When the pick comes, Doncic often makes the right read.
Timberwolves have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. LeBron against Edwards. Mr. Gobert. Back to Edwards. Randle a screen on LeBron. Just 3 to shoot. Pulls up on the wing. Edwards, no good.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage, even though it was all over.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Now here's Gobert. And here is DiVincenzo. Randle outside. Puts up a 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
Yeah, they dropped the last game of this matchup. Their bench wasn't able to keep up with the opposing reserves offensively.
Now here's LeBron. He's coming off a 22-point game against Minnesota.
And don't forget about the work he did on the boards. His rebounding was a huge help in that game.
So it's Minnesota now, following the bucket by the Lakers. DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. Gobert with a screen for Edwards. To the paint, and he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
There's 1:40 left to play in the first quarter. They could use a bucket, and Gobert with the lay-in. Gobert's got his second basket of the night.
Well, given how tall and lengthy Gobert is, it makes sense why he looks to score inside. Nice bucket there.
Doncic scored the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Gobert in the corner. Randle passes to Gobert. Outside for Randle. Timberwolves passing it around. 5 on the clock. From 13, and it's good for 2.
You know, they like Randle to be an offensive presence in the paint. They want him to be an option on every possession.
Hayes dishes to Doncic. Gobert with the block. Randall surveying the D. DiVincenzo passes to Gobert. Outside for Randall. Gobert with a screen on Hachimura. Here's Randall. And the call on the shot. Folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
The feel LeBron has for the game, unreal. In whatever situation he finds himself in, he always seems to have an answer.
Here's Edwards. And so it's Los Angeles, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
Yeah, they've looked sharp early on with their offense, getting good chances and converting what they've taken.
Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Gobert is out there with Randall, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. And despite his young age, Coach Van Gundy, Anthony Edwards' leadership qualities growing day by day.
Yeah, Kevin, and a lot of it's because he is great at both ends of the court. Confident, charismatic, upbeat. He's learning that delicate balance between taking over a game and bringing his teammates along for the ride.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jaden McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. And so it's the Lakers with it, following the 3 by Minnesota. Doncic passes to James. Inside to the left side wing. Here's Hayes. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. McDaniels finds DiVincenzo. The tray. Rebound the Lakers.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Doncic with it. Picked up by Edwards. LeBron with a screen on Edwards. Doncic. And the dunk by Doncic.
The skill of Doncic at 6'7", 230, it makes him an impossible matchup defensively.
And there's the call on Dante DiVincenzo. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's only the first time this half. But Kevin, they've done a great job here in that regard.
Doncic against Edwards. Now, here's Doncic. Defense right on him. Vanderbilt kicks to Doncic. Vanderbilt setting the pick for Doncic. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
DiVincenzo passes to McDaniels. Randall with a screen for McDaniel. A three-pointer is right on target. McDaniels got his first 3 points of the game. You know, Stan, when I think of you as a coach, I think defense. So let me put you on the spot as you assess the wing defenders in the NBA right now. who are some of the top 2 or 3 that you noticed?
Well, look, there's so many good ones. My favorite right now is Lou Dort because he's so strong, he's so disciplined, and he has an amazing ability to use his body even against guys that are a lot taller. He is a frustrating guy for great scorers to play against.
Now, he brought a lot to the NBA, but haven't the Thunder done a good job developing that kid?
Well, they have, and look, they've got other great defenders too, like Jalen Williams.
Now, Vanderbilt following the miss by Julius Randle from deep. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's on Anthony Edwards.
And such a physical player inside. LeBron doesn't fear contact on the way up.
Good on the second free throw. Looking at the last game for the Timberwolves, it was a loss to the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Pass to Edwards. Doncic with the steal. And Doncic with a clear path to the hoop.
Energy. That's what Doncic brings every night. That steal and basket can ignite a team.
Randle outside. Outside Edwards. Randle with a screen for Edwards. Edwards at the rim.
Well, once Edwards saw his opening, it was game over. He delights in sticking it to you like this.
Here's James. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast. That it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Alex Lenz checked in for Los Angeles. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Rui Hachimura.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, LeBron.
And maybe the most storied high school player ever. It's amazing to think that LeBron's exceeded expectations at the pro level.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Reed comes in for Rudy Gobert. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for Dante DiVincenzo. Now here's Randle. His last outing, he had 24 points. Shot clock at 5 to the inside. Minnesota needs to get off a shot here. He was all alone on that one. Alexander Walker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Doncic outside. Here's Finney-Smith. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And that's it for the first half of action in what's been a very close game here. Lakers ahead. They're up by 5. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Swerving off topic for a moment, I need you guys to weigh in on this. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, man.
And turning now to the game we've been watching, Luka Doncic has been lighting it up.
You can tell.
And that'll do it for half.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
His play so far is what fans love about him. He has gone right at the defense time and time again.
Yeah, he hasn't been settling. He's getting to the rim, and that's him at his best.
So for the Lakers right now, Maxi Kleber is out there with Dorian Finney-Smith. Then there's Len. Then it's Austin Reeves. And it's Milton in at the point. Reeves with it, defended by Alexander Walker. Finney-Smith with it. Nothing on the board. There's the triple. Reed with the rebound. Timberwolves trail by 3. Hey, Coach, what about Naz Reid after going undrafted back in 2019? He is really showing him, isn't it?
Well, Kevin, what a story. Uncommon skill level for a player of his size. He can shoot the ball. He can handle the ball. He's got a lot in his arsenal.
Off and running right off the bat here to start the second half.
Here's Shannon, defended by Milton. Shannon passes to Alexander Walker. Banked in off the glass. Alexander Walker's got 5 now.
And some kind of switch must have been flipped at halftime because both teams are getting after it.
Yeah, and you can feel the pace picking up in this second half. Both teams have dialed up the intensity.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Yeah, I'd consider calling timeout right away after that one. The defense has to be better there.
Here's Minot, following the bucket by the Lakers. Len with the block, and he's able to get it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Lakers leading by 6. Reeves outside. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Driving the lane.
And there is no better way to add to the lead.
Isn't that true, GA, especially when the slam is coming from the point guard?
It shows you're able to attack the rim from any position.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Alexander Walker. Finney-Smith defending.
That's 2 really unproductive trips in a row, ending in turnover.
Second shot opportunity. Reed with the block.
Well, Reed really gets after it on defense. He's a big man that loves coming up with blocks.
Rejected by Len. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Drills it from outside. Reeves has got the lead up to 11 now for the Lakers.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside. Nice work defensively to contest that shot right at the rim. Nothing easy.
Reed misses. Los Angeles leading by 8. Driving in, Milton. Reeves outside. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. 5th, the Timberwolves.
Well, last season, this was a team that prided itself on protecting the rim. They were not an easy group to score on inside.
And we've got a lineup change for the Lakers. And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He's ready to talk things through with the team. A new lineup here for the Timberwolves.
Give them a hand, fans. Your Timberwolves.
Timberwolves trail by 8.
Who's watching it?
Now here's Randall. Vanderbilt with the steal. And it's the Lakers on the break. The kick out to LeBron. Los Angeles with another miss. And here's Edwards. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. Down low. Here's Gobert. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Over in the corner, Doncic. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And the rejection by James.
Come on now. That shot had no chance getting by LeBron.
And here's DiVincenzo from the arc. Nailed from three-point land. Lakers leading by 5. On the wing, Doncic. Edwards defending. Vanderbilt, a screen on McDaniel. James connects from deep.
Well, they expect this from him, and he's a big reason they're out in front right now.
Edwards, no good. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Los Angeles has gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight, just a little over 40%. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Randall out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
And inside, Luka knows the bucket is there, so he is willing to fight for it.
LeBron against Edwards. On the wing, DiVincenzo. And James pulls it down. Lakers leading by 10. Pass to Hachimura. LeBron against Edwards. Lost contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line. And you know, Greg, we're seeing so many teams utilizing the dribble handoff.
And it really forces the defense into a bad spot, can create situations where the offense has an advantage, and then it allows you to kind of seek out the matchup.
Edwards, no good.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
Doncic against Edwards. James with a powerful jam.
It's impressive, the level of domination at both ends, and you're seeing the results.
Yeah, and to do it on the road, it shows how well prepared this team was coming into this contest.
And James picks up the foul. That's his first foul. To the paint, they need this. And slam dunk by Gobert.
I mean, could this be any easier for Gobert? The rim is right there for him.
Edwards against Doncic. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
He's been reliable from the floor, and that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
Well, I love how connected they've been defensively. They're right into shooters and piling up block shots.
Another thing they're doing well tonight is getting steals, and that can be attributed to their tenacious style defensively.
Well, that's what you want. Get him the ball and see if he can close the gap.
Pass to Hayes. Clock at 6. Here's James. Back to Hayes. Corner shot. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Well, sometimes it's just not your night. But despite his struggles, they're ahead in the game.
Edwards can't hit.
Well, his shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me.
And Doncic gets it to go.
And already in his career, Doncic displays a remarkable amount of pro moves, including that floater right there.
Here's DiVincenzo. The Lakers with the rebound. Hayes has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Doncic against Randall. No good with the layup. Timberwolves trail by 15. On the wing, DiVincenzo. Back to Edwards. There's the three. Rebound the Lakers. James has got 4 rebounds in this game. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Minnesota's gotten the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it, 9 times they've missed. Doncic against Edwards. And Greg, everyone loves talking trades. Future first-round picks have been moved quite a bit of late, and that's been kind of interesting.
And Kevin, a lot of teams that don't control any of their future first-round picks. With so much pressure to win now, GMs are willing to use draft assets. And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Lakers.
The biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other team.
Yeah, they were working hard on both sides of the floor, but that sky-high field goal percentage, plus the pressure defense to force the other team into a lot of misses. Love the effort tonight.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Luka Doncic.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
Doncic. And the layup falls. And the Lakers lead by 13.
Yeah, they've sucked the energy out of this arena. Tremendous effort on the road.
Yeah, and winning games on the road is huge, especially when you get them in such a convincing fashion.
And that one misses.
Second team foul. At the line for your Timberwolves.
He hits the second from the line. And here is Los Angeles now. At one point, they led by 16. Up top, Doncic. Edwards defending. And it's Doncic missing. Hayes with the steal, and Hayes throws it down.
Blocking foul called on Jackson Hayes. First personal foul.
No good on that one.
At the line for 2.
And he's good on the second. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. So, for Stan Van...
these teams. Know each other well, and safe to say they don't particularly like each other.
And I think fans really gravitate towards that sort of dislike. It just puts an extra added ingredient of intensity on a game like this. So for the fan bases, this one's big.
And now the Los Angeles starters. Jared Vanderbilt out there with Hayes. Then it's Luka Doncic. Then there's Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's James in at the 2. Now here's Curry. Pulls it from the top of the key. Connects. The jumper drops.
So Steph Curry, the best shooter in the world, is open and has the ball? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Doncic against Payton. Doncic passes to Finney-Smith. Doncic, a screen on Curry. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. You know, not too many teams have the stability and head coach as the Warriors have had, Brent.
Well, I'm not sure there's ever been a more perfect fit for a team than Steve Kerr with the Golden State Warriors. It has been a magical run in the Bay Area, and you just look at the type of connectivity he has with his players, and again, how much joy these Warriors play with.
And here are the Warriors now, following the score by the Lakers. That one goes in.
Safe to say that Steph Curry has mastered that shot there, the floater with the beautiful high release.
Inside, Hayes, and finished off by Hayes.
He knew exactly where his man was going to be. Outstanding lead pass.
Up top, Curry. Here's post. Back to Curry. It's tipped. It's stolen by James. And there's the drive. And slam dunk by James.
Yeah, forget about stopping LeBron when he's on the dribble coming at you with that kind of momentum.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Steve Kerr gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. He spoke about LeBron James' ability to completely control the game. They want to set the pace for themselves and make LeBron and his guys play catch-up. Coach said we have to play our brand of basketball and not worry about who's on the other side. Play our game, set the pace, and we should be all right. Back to you, B.A.
As always, Allie, we thank you. And it's James with the jam.
And the defense making it too easy for LeBron James. Can't let him get that close.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Curry, no good. The Lakers lead by 7. James, a screen on Curry. Here's Doncic. Out to James. The shot is good. Doncic making the play. Doncic has got his 3rd assist of the night.
They're starting to pull away here as their shots keep falling.
You start to feel their confidence. That's the difference between the success they're having now and the struggles they faced earlier.
The Lakers on D. Shot is good by Curry. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And let's talk about Draymond Green for a moment. Certainly one of the most outspoken players in the league, Brent.
Well, Draymond has never held back, whether he's talking about his opinion or the way that he sees the game, which is remarkable and a revelation to his intelligence as a defender on the floor. Draymond Green has been special on the defensive end throughout his career.
Now here's Curry. 7 points in the game.
Oh, very clever from Curry. They're attracting the defense and then just giving it away.
And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Lakers. 8-point game. And it's Jimmy Butler with the foul. That's his first foul of the game. So it's Los Angeles now. Here's Doncic. On the wing, Finney Smith.
That miss aside, they're off to a strong start at the offensive end.
No good on the three. And here they go. Here's Post. Outside for Green. Curry looking it over. From deep three-point land. Doncic grabs the miss. Los Angeles leading by 8. Throws it up high.
That's a whistle he did not want to hear. His second foul, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
And let's take a moment to get your take, guys, on the scoring so far for Los Angeles.
Well, they found a groove, and it's from distance, so knocking them down from the three-point land never hurts.
Let's make sure that that selfish nerve doesn't get tapped, because right now there's great ball movement. They're setting each other up. Let's see if that maintains.
And there's James from the arc. Pass to Finney Smith. 6 on the shot clock. Out of bounds as Los Angeles keeps possession.
Almost had the steal. You have to love the pressure defense.
Yeah, pestering right now, and that's going to pay some dividends. At some point, there's going to be a turnover.
Here's Doncic, and another shot. Now Hayes for 3. The Lakers with another miss. Oh, and a fast break for the Warriors. And here's Butler outside. Sinks the tray.
Well, Jimmy Butler's 3 ball is just going to extend that defense, and now he's going to make plays inside.
That one's good from James on the assist by Doncic. Doncic has got 5 assists tonight.
And you like the balance here, not just falling in love with the 3 ball.
Here's Curry. James with the block. And so it's LeBron James making things happen for the Los Angeles Lakers. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And from what we've seen from the Lakers, what's your take so far?
Well, it's simple. Rebounding made all the difference in the first quarter. They really got after it.
Yeah, rebounding can also be just about will, and they showed some of that in going in there and collecting some boards.
We've got Green. Gary Payton II is out there with Stephen Curry. Then there's Butler, and it's Post in at the center position. So that's the group out there for Golden State. And Luka Doncic is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game. Warriors trail by 8. Outside Curry. On the wing, Payton. Here's Green. Oh, it's stolen by Doncic. He got it. No doubt that's a foul. And it's going to be a transition take foul. Los Angeles shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. The free throw off from Doncic. And with things just getting started in this new season, Brent, what are you looking forward to the most moving ahead?
Yeah, BA, I think about last year's teams and the magic that they had to push themselves into playoff positioning. Do they still have it? But one of the more exciting things in terms of the storyline is which teams are showing some early chemistry that could threaten some of those teams from last year. That is something that we always gravitate towards. The fresh blood, the new team, the one that's going to be the underdog throughout the course of the year, and how far can they push it?
Doncic against Curry. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance at a three-point play.
And going right through the contact, Luka has tremendous strength, especially for a guy who handles the ball so much.
Warriors trail by 14. Outside Curry. Hoop poked away. Oh, it's stolen by Doncic. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Well, guys, drawing charges is an art. The Warriors' Brandon Podziemski led the league last season, and he said, I'm not going to jump with anybody at the rim and block them. This is another form of rim protection. And Brian, while some have labeled them dangerous and called for charges to be taken out of the game, they remain a winning play.
Yeah, that's a good point, Allie. Thanks. Let's go with a 3. Warriors with the rebound. They went to Los Angeles for their last meeting with the Lakers and came out with the victory.
And it's just so hard to stop them when they're scoring at that level. They were efficient and didn't let up at all.
Yeah, never stopped working. One of those games where just everybody was making shots, continual flow, and a very professional win.
Brent, you could hit the three back in your day, and no doubt, Stephen Curry is the best three-point shooter in league history. What makes him so good from deep?
To me, BA, it comes down to the way that Steph goes about his habits in practice. If you ever watch footage of him in pregame warm-ups or in the offseason, there is so much variability in what he does in terms of preparing his feet and hands to shoot the basketball. There's no one that practices the way that Steph does, and there's no one that produces the way that he does either.
Los Angeles leading by 17. Tries the spin move. There's the block.
Fantastic defense. When Peyton's roaming nearby, you gotta be careful trying to get your shot off.
And Post gets it to go.
Lead passes like that are so hard to defend. He never had to break his stride, so full speed, 2 points.
James passes to Finney-Smith. James with the ball. Peyton covering. Here's Doncic. Out to James. The shot is good. Doncic making the play. Doncic has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. And so Curry will bring it up for Golden State. They trail by 18. Pass to Peyton. Knocked loose. Doncic against Peyton. Out to James. This one for three. And another three for the Lakers.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
James against Curry. James with the rebound. James has got 5 rebounds tonight.
And right now, they're +8 in the rebounding category. That's helping them run away with this.
And that one goes in as he's fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts the free throw. So LeBron will go to the free throw line. It's on Stephen Curry.
And the sustained greatness of LeBron James, just something when you take a step back, you really marvel at. We truly have been witnesses to something special.
Butler passes to Green. Hayes with it. Now guarded by Butler.
This is one where the second foul is probably going to cost you some minutes in this game.
So far in the game, he's gone 2 for 4 from the line. First free throw is good.
And Doncic is a walking triple-double threat. His versatility and confidence is really special.
Second free throw, no good. And so they foul intentionally.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
And this is his second and third free throws tonight. That free throw good from James. Both free throws good from James.
Well, it's interesting to watch him because he's putting his body on the line to get to the line. We didn't see this during the first quarter, but he's making up for it here.
And Peyton, here we go. Count it. Peyton's got his first 2 points of the night.
Right around the painted area, that's where Peyton likes to operate.
Here's Doncic. And he banks in the layup.
You're not going to get stops against him unless you give an effort.
Up in time. No good. And so it's Los Angeles with a commanding lead to end the quarter. 27 points. Looking good. It hasn't taken them too many shots. Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports.
This is the kind of selfless effort you love to see. They bought it into the game plan. They're moving the ball around, playing.
Now let's take a moment and thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You know, LeBron James has been exceptional here, guys.
Oh, he's been their defensive anchor so far, stifling shots left and right.
Been aggressive to block shots, but also avoiding fouls. That's a heavy presence inside.
On the court for the Lakers, Austin Reeves out there with Shake Milton. Then there's Maxi Kleber, then it's Alex Len, and it's Hachimura in at the 3.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
Out to Kleber. Len in the high post. Jackson Davis on him, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jonathan Kuminga. That's his first foul of the game. Outside Milton. Outside Reeves. Just 5 to shoot. The rebound by Moody. Well, the Warriors shooting just 42% so far in the game. Outside heel. Jackson Davis' screen. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Yeah, that's a taste of how fearless and confident Buddy Hield can play. Love applying the pressure.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Well, Grant, with players getting bigger and more athletic, do you support moving the restricted area out?
Yeah, B.A., I would. We've seen a lot of injuries when defenders slide underneath elevated players on the drive. So cutting down that risk makes a lot of sense.
Left side Pajemski to the middle. Jackson Davis with the bucket. Jackson Davis has got his first basket.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
Here's Reeves. Yep, that one goes.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
And the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
Outside heel. It's rebounded by Los Angeles.
And their physical dominance has been on display. A 10-rebound advantage is a good indicator of how this game has gone.
Reeves. Here's Len. From outside, off the mark. The Warriors have gotten 2 of 4 shots to go since the break. Pajemski with it. Milton covering. Now a timeout called by Golden State. Always interesting to look back at last season. These were the NBA's best transition teams. In the third spot, Los Angeles.
You know, it really made for some exciting games the way this team ran the floor, always maintaining impressive energy in transition.
Slammed home, and they call the foul. He's headed to the stripe for one more.
Well, nice to see Hield on the runway right there, taking flight.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game. Here's Reeves. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Oh, powered down with both hands.
Great job on the back end of the play.
Yep, finished with both hands, making sure of it. Pass to Jackson Davis. Back to Pajemski. To the paint. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
Yeah, undersized guys with athleticism do these kind of things, playing above the rim. Love to see him get up like that.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. What a rookie year for Brandon Pajemski. A seamless transition into the league.
You talk about a guy who could come in and contribute right away. I remember the stretch last year. He had 3 straight games with double-doubles without a turnover. Now, that's some heady play for a rookie. Podziemski, he's got a great calmness and a great demeanor about him, but always willing to make the next play.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
The NBA is focused on the next generation. Commissioner Adam Silver said a lot of top draft picks are incredibly skilled, but that doesn't necessarily translate to being team basketball players. There's an opportunity for us to be more active participants in developing younger players and getting kids active. BA?
One step ahead, Allie. Thanks. Here's Podziemski. And there it is for him.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
1:07 left in the third. Hachimura up top. Moody defends. On target from range. Kleba's got his first 3 points of the game.
Lackluster defense, showing no desire to chase shooters off that line.
Outside Podziemski. Outside Moody. Pass to Heel. Shot clock at 5. Now here's Podziemski. Back to Heel. Takes the 3. Buries it from 3. Heel's got 9.
Well, that basket must be widening out right now. He's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
There's a screen by Lynn. The kick out to Milton. Here's Lynn. And an intentional foul right there. And it's a completely new group for the Lakers.
Second team foul. Substitution on the court.
20 seconds left in the third quarter. Hayes with a screen. It's Doncic with a drive. Out to James. 6 to shoot. Driving in. The Lakers got to get one up. Late clock. And Doncic the bucket on the assist by James.
Three-pointer.
James has got 3 assists now in this one. The deep 3. No good. Would have counted had it gone. And as we conclude the third, pretty much a blowout here. It's been a one-sided affair. And let's take this opportunity to show you our state. State Farm assist of the game.
You talk about painting a magnificent picture with that, Don. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. They've got Gary Payton II. Draymond Green is out there with Jimmy Butler. Then it's Kuminga, and it's Post in at the center position. That's the Warriors 5. Outside Payton. Outside Butler. There's a screen. And he lays it up and in.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
And it's Gary Payton II with a foul. That's his 3rd foul so far. Well, Brent, you've won championships, but you've also been on some bad teams. What's that experience like?
Well, B.A., very kind of you to remind me of that, although the therapy has paid off, so I'm doing just fine. When you are experiencing seasons that aren't going as successful as the team would like it to go, there's a point of pride in the game and the way that you approach it. You can't separate yourself from your teammates. You got to dig in and show that you have the mettle to go out there and still compete.
Kuminga with it. Hayes picks him up. Pass to Post. Back to Kuminga. Down low. And Post gets it to go.
You can see more and more of that first team mentality developing with Kuminga looking for the teammate's best shot.
Doncic against Payton. James outside. Hayes with a screen on Butler. There's James. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. It's going to go on Draymond Green. And a moment to check out the scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
Well, the coaching staff has to love what they're seeing on offense. There's so many assists because how this team is moving the ball.
And there's another thing going on right now for them that has to get their confidence up, and that's the 3-ball. I mean, it's been falling for them. They're locked in, and that outside shot going, that's a big difference maker.
Strong performance from him, but he may need to do even more if they're going to win this game.
James outside. Pass to Hayes. Back to James. They get it back. It's good on the putback.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Butler with the ball. Hayes picks him up. Butler passes to Payton. Got a piece of it. If you're just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Here's James. Outside Finney-Smith. And there's the screen. Kicks it to Doncic. Back to Finney-Smith. Fires from deep. The rebound by Post.
That's exactly how you have to defend him on the perimeter. Can't allow any space.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Well, Grant, in terms of scheduling, you see any way to eliminate back-to-backs?
You know, I'm not a big fan of eliminating back-to-backs, but to answer your question, BA, you have two choices. Either fewer regular season games or extend the season by a few weeks. I don't think either one of those options is in our future.
James deciding where to go with it. Doncic on the wing. Minute 32 left to play in the fourth. He's got it. 6 of 10 now.
The size and strength of Doncic can go overlooked. I mean, he's more than capable of scoring there in the paint. And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the Lakers.
And the disparity in the talent was obvious by the end. Sometimes you just don't have enough ammunition to compete.
Yeah, BA, just a total beatdown. And the next time these teams meet, I can't imagine it'll be any different.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year. And one player just stole the show tonight, doing everything for his team. A monster night for LeBron James.
And this was a showcase night of his skills offensively.
Payton up top. He's marked by Finney-Smith. Payton's shot is good. Los Angeles has gone 2 of 6 so far in the fourth. Pass to Hayes. Finney-Smith with it for 3. James. It's rebounded by Jimmy Butler. They set a pick. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Hayes against Kuminga. Here's Payton. Up and in on the layup.
It's nice they found their rhythm here, but the clock is just not their friend.
Yeah, it's tough to mount a comeback like this and then fall oh so short. I'm sure that's weighing on them just a little bit.
And here's Doncic. Fires away from way outside. Missed it. And so it's the Lakers easily grabbing this one. All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast.
possession is tipped off. Richard, how important is it to get things off to a good start?
I'd say it's fairly important, but this is a long season, Kevin. It's about sustaining a high level of play consistently.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Julius Randle is out there with Gobert, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. Post. Off target with his 3.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Edwards against Butler. Edwards dishes to McDaniels. Edwards passes to Gobert. And finished off by Gobert.
And the slam. If Rudy gets that ball anywhere near the rim, he is going to finish it.
Curry's shot is off.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
A nice shot by McDaniels.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those. Fantastic defense, giving full effort.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
Edwards.
Oh, my!
Nice finish.
Oh, my. What a huge flush by Edwards, showing off right now.
There's a screen. McDaniels against Curry. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Was shot by Payton, no good.
0 for 4 to start things off. Got a bit of a pillow fight brewing here, but they're going to get it going.
Gobert with a screen for Edwards. Hits the three-point bomb. Edwards got 5.
Wow, now this is how you want to start your games. Flawless shooting so far.
David Aldridge had a chance to catch up with head coach Steve Kerr. Hey, what do you have to say?
Now, we talked about the tall task of facing Anthony Edwards. Coach said he is so physical. Ant looks more like a linebacker than the wing, so we can't foul Edwards too much. That's playing right into his hands. So they'll try to play him tight without sending him to the line. Not easy to do. Back to you guys.
Thanks, David. Kept alive. Gobert. Oh, he jams it right over Draymond Green. Wow.
And Gobert showing how much he wanted that basket.
And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Now, when a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
You gotta blow the whistle when it's that obvious. Great call there by the official.
Now here's Randle. His last outing, he had 24 points. Here's DiVincenzo. Nice move. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randle.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Yeah, they're in control on both ends of the court, and it's always impressive when you build a double-digit lead in the first quarter.
You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them, but not last year as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you gotta look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
Curry's shot is good.
Impeccable touch from Steph.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Edwards, a screen on Curry. DiVincenzo can't hit it. And here's Payton. He'll bring it up for the Golden State Warriors. They trail by 9 points. Gobert with the block.
And when Gobert is playing with this kind of aggression on that end, there aren't many better at defending it.
Here's Curry. Here's the screen. Blocked again.
See, what a rough quarter for him. Nothing seemingly going his way.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Timberwolves.
I've really been impressed with how aggressive they've been inside, looking to capitalize from the paint whenever they can.
And another thing Coach will be thrilled with, the assist numbers, spreading the wealth and creating some offensive opportunities.
To the inside. Here's Post. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
Oh, nice speed. You can see how Curry makes their offense flow, even when he's not scoring.
And that's his second foul committed with a lot of game left. Gotta be careful.
And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. As outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
Now here's Curry. That's a bucket. His third of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
The better shooter you are, the quicker you become. Curry makes it so hard to guard him in these little moments. He slips past the defense.
Here is Edwards. He's got 8. Pass to DiVincenzo. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Edwards inside. Payton's there. And the basket by Edwards. Edwards got 10.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
They came out swinging, really setting the tone on offense, and the opposition has not been able to respond.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves going into the break with a 10-point lead. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
It's been a group effort, and that's what it takes to play the kind of defense that they've played. Great showing from them.
They've got Payton. Draymond Green is out there with Jimmy Butler. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Post in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group for the goal.
Legal.
Never seen it.
It's simple, guys. Keep getting Edwards the ball and just let Ant cook.
Curry against McDaniel. Butler sets a screen for Curry. Into the lane. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. For 3, Edwards. Bucket Edwards slotting home the 3.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Butler feeling out a bit. Pass to Curry. They kick it out to Green. 5 to shoot. Here's Butler with the drive. That one's in, his first shot this game. Where there's a lot of emphasis on three-point shooting, Greg. What's your opinion of that?
Well, Kevin, stretching the D isn't just about how far out they have to defend. It's the distance between that and how far in you have to defend. That's why analytics favors shots at the rim and from distance.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Anthony Edwards is figuring things out. He said there's levels. My first few years, I looked for my shot and nothing else. I've learned that I can't win without my teammates and that I have to throw them the ball too. It's a team game. I know that now. Kevin, I know it too, so I'm throwing it back to you.
And you're the best teammate we could have. Thank you, David. Here's Butler. Pass to Post. Back to Butler. Over Randall. And it's Butler missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. Drills the three-pointer. Edwards got 8 here in the quarter.
He got a 3 to fall in the first, and now his second in this quarter. Not a trend the defense wants to see.
Out to Payton. Butler sets a screen for Payton. Outside Butler. driving to the basket. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Butler's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And Butler, just a seasoned vet, someone who's not going to panic when that clock is up against him. I love how under control he stays.
Curry against DiVincenzo. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Timberwolves lead by 18.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Curry fires from way outside. The long distance three is buried. Curry's got 9.
That's not even a deep three for Curry. That's just pretty much his range at this point in his career.
DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. The 3. And another 3 for Minnesota.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Curry deciding where to go with it. Green with a screen for Curry. And it's good, 2 points. 11 points in the game.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Edwards passes to DiVincenzo. Bobbed up there for Edwards. Outside Curry. Pass to Post. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Post has got his second basket of the night.
And Curry isn't just a lights-out scorer. He's also efficient at moving the ball and getting it to his teammates.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Edwards with the screen for DiVincenzo. Now here's Randall. Outside Edwards. Randall finds Edwards. From downtown, and another 3 for Minnesota.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
And, of course, it helps space the floor, which gives this offense more room to operate.
Anthony Edwards has been leading the charge for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And with his work in that quarter, he has 5 3-pointers in the game now. Quite a showing from long range. Right back after this break.
Come one, come all.
Well, I think for the Warriors, you really get to see what they're made of after your hard work in the offseason.
Yeah, you have big.
Changing focus now to the tough first half for the Warriors.
Yeah, their defensive effort uninspired.
Thanks for spending halftime.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. You know, Anthony Edwards has been exceptional here, guys.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
You love guys who can get their shots within the flow of the offense.
On the court for Minnesota, Miller is out there with Naz Reid. Then it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Minot in at the small forward. Warriors trail by 16. Here's Hield. Here's Jackson Davis. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Alexander-Walker passes to Reid. The 3-ball. Another miss by Minnesota.
And off to a bit of a slow start in the second half. 0 for 3 so far.
Kuminga. Rebound by Alexander-Walker.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Back to Reid. Here's Miller. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Miller's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Timberwolves. Warriors have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. Here's Podziemski. The shot from the low post is good.
And it took some time, but hopefully getting that make kind of kickstart, kind of wake them up here in this third quarter after missing their first few shots.
It didn't take long for Podziemski to establish himself as an elite charge taker.
The funny thing about the game of basketball is that some things can't be taught. Pods clearly has the it factor when it comes for the timing that it takes to draw charges. He can steal a few possessions for you every single game.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Yeah, they got to do a much better job of putting a little bit of pressure on him on his way to the hoop.
Healed outside. That three off the mark.
And they have started out this quarter shooting just 20%. Let's just say this is not the way they wanted to open the second half.
With this break in the action, we can show you the teams that had the most rebounds last season. The Warriors, number 1.
They had such a strong presence in the paint. Just a physical team. They dominated the interior in terms of rebounding.
He doesn't get the second one. Greg, we see the NBA fining players for certain actions or statements.
Multiple offenders are always going to be under the microscope, Kevin. Sometimes they end up playing into those expectations, so those punishments can appear a bit skewed.
To the middle, here's Jackson Davis. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. A chance here to take a moment and compare the front court and back court scoring on the night for the Timberwolves.
And their guards have been the difference makers. This lead wouldn't be nearly as big as it is if it wasn't for that backcourt. Those guys have been running wild.
And it's Pajemski in the corner. Pass to Hield. Goes back up. Here's Jackson Davis.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Pajemski with it. Stolen. Alexander Walker with the ball. Now guarded by Hield. Back to Alexander Walker. Beyond the arc. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Jackson Davis has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Kuminga down low. Covered by Miller.
He may not have that traditional power forward build, but his bounce, well, that kind of levels the playing field.
Reed with a screen on Hield. Pass to Minot. Back to Alexander Walker. There's Kuminga. And Kuminga throws it down.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play. Then the emphatic stuff.
Yeah, once he poked it away, you knew what was on his mind.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
1:04 left in the third quarter. Now, Alexander Walker. 6 to shoot. Reed with a screen on Hield. Going inside.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Well, great chemistry on display. He understood where to put the screen in order to free up his teammate.
Here's Hield. Pajemski on the wing. Good, nice job down low. Pajemski's got his first basket of the night.
Nah, he's just ridiculous. He's just an absolute surgeon when he has the ball. This man is surgical. There is no way to slow him down when he wants to score.
Out to Miller. Fires from deep. Cans it from downtown. Miller's got 5 now.
And you can see he just caught a glimpse of the open man on the perimeter and immediately got him the basketball.
They set the screen. Here's Hield. Outside, Kuminga. The wing jumper off target. And so it's Minnesota feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. Their defense has... And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
That wasn't a better pass in the game, almost like he had a sixth sense.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Stephen Curry's out there with Payton, and it's Green, then it's Butler, and it's Post in at the 5. That's the Warriors' 5. DiVincenzo with the screen on Peyton. Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
You can't let Edwards get in the lane. Outstanding at using that burst of speed on the drive.
Here's Curry. Peyton with the screen. Outside Curry. The inside game of Stephen Curry.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Edwards with the screen for DiVincenzo. For three. And Anthony Edwards gets the three. Edwards got 5 points in the quarter.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Curry against McDaniel. Outside Curry. Again, Curry missing.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
It's stolen by Curry. Here's post. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And all of a sudden, that man was just on the other end. Wow.
Edwards with it. Now Green defending. Edwards against Green. Randall passes to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. Takes it off the glass. Edwards got 31 points.
They're in strong position coming down the stretch, and he is a big reason why.
The shot by Butler, nobody around. Good, and Curry gets the assist.
And he's had his ups and downs from distance, but Jimmy Bucket's always aggressive, looking to score.
DiVincenzo passes to Gobert. Shot from the low block, and there's another one for the Timberwolves.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Curry with it. It's hauled in by Edwards.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Yeah, he might have been feeling himself a little too much on that one. He can hit it, but not consistently.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Gobert with a screen on Green. Edwards looking it over. Here's Gobert. Makes a fantastic move and nails the shot.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
If you want to be great, you have to have that killer instinct.
Curry against McDaniel. Takes a shot at the elbow, and it comes off the front of the rim. Timberwolves leading by 19 points. Edwards with the screen for DiVincenzo. Edwards finds Gobert, lets it go from deep, and there's Edwards on the assist by Gobert. Edwards got 10 points here in the second half. Golden State's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Timberwolves.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Anthony Edwards.
He did a great job following his team's game plan and not rushing anything on offense, which allowed him to catch fire.
Butler against Edwards. Fires away from way outside. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. 35 seconds left in the fourth.
Oh, that is just unreal. Is this the dunk contest, or are we actually playing a real game?
No, this one counts, Greg. Believe me.
My
But confidence to attempt the alley-oop to himself. Curry dishes to Butler. There's the drive. The shot misses. Great D that time from Edwards. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't